this is going to be, oh yeah, there we go. Yes, this is for the rod mounts for my rod holders, my Wise rod holders. So I used to have these on my blue boat, but these are going to be what we put into when I put the rod holders on the utility table in the Pelican. So yeah, these guys will work nice. We're going to put these right on the table and go from there. This is what I was looking for. These were nice and cheap. $6 on Amazon. FishingWithVance.com. I really want to do some catfishing this year at night or daytime off the Pelican Bass Raider. So we mostly do a lot of bass fishing, and whenever I bass fish, I normally am doing a lot of casting to points, shores, laydowns, things like that. But for catfishing, I want to put some bait out there, some chicken liver, shiners, whatever. Throw it off the boat and bob around out there and yuck it up with my boys and maybe hook a catfish or two. So the pole holders we have on the Pelican they're just really not, we may use them, we'll see, to get as many lines in the water as we can, a couple apiece anyway, but I wanted to put some actual pole holders on the Pelican Bass Raider. So what I did, I used to have these, they're made by Wise, and if you can see those, they're plastic. I don't know, they do the job. We'll see. I don't need to get too fancy, but I already had these, is the point. And I had them with my old blue bass boat. So I wanted to repurpose those. So what I did was I went ahead and I went on the old Amazon internet and looked to see if I could find a mount that went with with rod holder. And I did, of course. You can find anything out there. But I couldn't decide whether I wanted to get side mounts or these flush mounts. So I went with the flush mounts. But then I'm going to have to modify the table a little bit in order to get these out into the corner of the table. I'll show you. I did one already, and I'll show you how it turned out. And then I'm going to show you how I'm going to do the other one and step through it. All right, guys. So here's the first one already done. It turned out pretty good, exactly what I wanted to do. But here it is. It's the pole holder fits down in the flesh mount pretty nice. And I put it out in the corner here. Now I wanted to not get a ton more weight on this table. I know this wood's pretty light. I didn't get carried away with a heavy block of wood here, but I gave a little bit of support, and I'll show you how I did that. But I wanted it to be raised up a little bit as well, because just putting this flesh mount right into the table, it was down a little too low. The pole holder was going to end up being too low, I thought. So I built up this, and also then I was able to drill the hole down to add this flush mount. And so now this sits right down in there. And these are, I don't want to say they're cheap, because they do the job. They'll hold your rods in place. I mean, if something pulls this out, and, I'll tell you what, then he wins. If something pulls this out and pulls the whole thing off here, then I give him a salute and see you next time. But I don't think they will. So this just locks over, and this turns, and it locks back down, and then that goes, this opens up. This would be pretty easy, especially if you wanted to just put one out this direction, if you have a bigger rod or something, and it hangs out this way. It comes out this way, obviously, away from the action. And then what I was thinking was, if we ended up putting a rod holder out here, then we might be able to use this as a catfish holder, as a pole holder, and just maybe you pitch over this way and you put your pole down in here. And again, this isn't going anywhere. So you can get two off the side, maybe one off the back. So anyway, this is what we're building. This is what I wanted to make, and it turned out pretty good. So it wasn't that hard. It's a Pelican Bass Raider utility table mod, and it turned out pretty good. So I'm going to show you how I made that guy. In case you have a utility table and you want to throw a pole holder on it, this is how it's done. All right, so I'll go ahead and walk through real quick some of the things I use to do this. And again, I'm not, Joe Tools or handyman here. I try to keep things simple, and I know that'll do the job over there. Could be done, probably way better or with fancier, a fancier approach. But again, I like to go with the whole keep it simple, stupid theory. So all I use to do this, obviously I have another pole holder. So that's the one we're going to put on. I have another rod tender mount here. It's the top flush mount. It's black, so it fits. So let's put that off to the side. All right. Then this is just the good old-fashioned, 1x6. I just got some of that, and then some trim. And this is just leftover scrap wood. I'm going to use that just to support the one corner. So I'll hold on to that. And obviously my pencil, square. Of course, my Makita tools. I'm trying out this new guy. I used him for the first time here. The old Catter got me that for Christmas. It's a cordless cordless circular saw made by Makita, perfect for this little job. It was able to cut through this stuff pretty easily, but again, it's just for small jobs, but it worked great. The drill driver drill, charging up some batteries, the old quick grips, and then the screws I chose to use are these Power Pros, premium exterior wood screws. The High Life turned me on to these, with the hex head there. I don't know if you can see that, and they seem to grab a little better, so I use those. And then to put down the pole holder, I use these 3/4 inch self-tapping screws. These birds. That's well done, Vance. These guys. So, all right. And of course, your trusty tape that I'm constantly misplacing. All right, that's pretty much it. And then, I forgot. Also using the Speed Wave paddle by Bosch. I grabbed a couple of these at work the other day, so I'm going to use the 1/2 inch and the 1 3/8 because that's the width that is on this guy. So that ends up being 1 3/8 here at its widest, and then I use the 1/4, as I'll show you, to drill into the table a little bit. So, but these guys work nice. They make a mess, but they work nice. Nice camera work. Way to go, Jasper. All right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to come over, and I want to make this one the same as the other. So I just need a square here. So just need a square right here. So what I want to do is I want this to pretty much be a square that's going to be supported by the edge of the table here and the edge of the table there. So I'm just going to mark underneath the table right here. And then take our trusty square. And again, I'm not building a watch here. It's just a pole holder for calf fishing, so it doesn't have to be perfect. All right, so good enough. Let's take it over. This guy is the 36 volt boy, so he takes 2 of them. Yeah, there it is. All right. I'm going to cut that. I'm just going to get this flush on the side. Throw this little sport guy under here just to get a measurement of where we're going with him. And that's it. Got our line. Let's go cut this guy. Alright guys, so I'm going to try to use my hack cam for the rest of this just because I can't really get the camera positioned right here. Hopefully I didn't get too much of my bill. If I did, just have to live with it. And also I'll try not to move around too much. But all I'm doing here now is I'm just going to eyeball this guy up. I'm going to put him under here, just flush where I'm going to want that. And then I'm going to use my grip here and lock this guy down. Now, this guy wants to move around under there. That's okay. I just want to drill some pilot holes so this wood doesn't split. So I'm just going to drill a few pilot holes here. I'll tell you what, before this guy moves on me, I'm going to go ahead and lock this guy in. Alright. Okay. So, I'll go ahead and finish our pilot holes. Alright, then I'm going to switch to these hex boys. Hopefully you can see this, but nothing to it. I don't want to overdo it. As my dad used to say, you don't want to pop eye that thing, because it'll go right through this soft wood. Alright, so we got those guys in. Now we can take the clamp off. And I'm going to throw one more out here. So alright, so we got our platform. I'm just going to, next thing I want to do is see, I'm just going to see where I can put the flush mount here as far into the corner as I can so that it goes all the way down. So all I'm doing is using my square, and I'm just eyeballing right here where that is hitting with this. I'm just going to draw a light line, get that to run parallel there. I'm going to do the same thing, get my square up to this edge and just run her down there. So then roughly I can put the circle somewhere right as far in this corner as right here, and it will go all the way through. Forgot the pole holder. Way to go. Alright, this thing has a notch on one side, and there's a notch down in the bottom of there. You probably can't see it, but it's way down in there, and that's what allows it to lock in. So I'm going to want this to be mounted this way and make sure that notch is that, so there it goes like this. So that's pretty much it. I mean, if you did it the other way, it wouldn't be the end of the world, but I want to make sure I have it right. So I want to make sure I put this on my left hand side. Okay, so having said that, I'm going to use this 1 3/8 drill bit here, and it's a little bigger than the hole, but it's as wide as the outer base there. So I'm going to swap it out. on my trusty drill driver here. Alright, now you probably can't see that, so I'm just going to come out at a diagonal angle there so that it the hole is pretty much in the corner as best it can be. I'd say probably about right there. So let's drill this guy out. This thing works pretty good. It throws stuff all over the place. It's fun though. FishingWithVance.com. Alright. Not bad. But, oh, I got stuff all over me. Got stuff all over my Rush Voorhees sweatshirt. Hook him right in the snoot. Right in the snoot. Anywho. Alright, so now, let's see if this guy fits. So now I'm going to throw the 1 1/4 in there. And just drill down a little wee bit into my table. Here we go. There we go. Alright. Ah, she's nice and flush in there. Beautiful. Alright. So, now that that's done, now we can switch to put these little pups in. Looks like a good angle. And she's good to go. These are self-tapping screws. Pulls this whole thing off here. And somebody put these in. And there we go. Alright. Alright, so the moment of truth. Let's see if this fits. So, there we go. Slide her in. Beautiful thing. Look at that. Fish on. Put your pole in there. Ain't going nowhere. Now you can change the angle a little bit. It fits down like this, but if you just pull it up a little bit, then you can change the angle, like I said. So there we go. So there it is. There's our catfish pole holders put on the Pelican Bass Raider and modified onto our utility table. I'll definitely spray paint these guys with some Flex Seal. Didn't want to get into that right now, but I'll just spray paint these with some white Flex Seal just to keep them from rotting. I don't fish that much in the rain, as you know, so I should be okay. And when we're not catfishing, we don't have to take this thing. We'll leave this home, and this will be none the worse. So anyway, guys, there it is. Some pole holders modified onto the Pelican Bass Raider utility table. So thanks for watching this video. I'll see you next time on FishingWithVance.com. Burn out.